God, the lead vocals are awful.
Get this. Anthony Fantano just interviewed the Tramp Stamp singer Marissa Mano. And this is wild because just last year they had some serious beef.
This song was hot trash.
The way you're holding your cord is fucking stupid.
Really tacky, very much in bad taste, and obnoxious as hell.
So real quick, if you don't know, Tramp Stamps is a pop punk band that started getting traction on TikTok in early 2021. A snippet of their third song, I'd Rather Die, went viral that April.
I'd rather die than hook up with another straight white guy.
And people hated it. Then we all thought they were industry plants and everyone was criticizing them, including Anthony Fantano, one of the world's biggest music critics. So we're gonna look at the discussion of the beef and the backlash, and at the end, Fantano has some feedback on Marissa Mano's new song, and you're not gonna wanna miss it. At the start of the interview, they get along surprisingly well.
I just think you're like important for art, like not to like, I don't know, hype you up or whatever. I do!
But later, they discuss their beef.
I was meant for like a month just because I love you. So I was like
30 whole days of Anthony Fantano hate bubbling at the top of your brain.
You don't understand, I'm like crazy, so yeah.
And they were still nice.
Disappointed!
But it's fine, the interview makes up for it with some pretty legendary moments. Before I play one, you gotta know that Tramp Stamps weren't just called industry plants. They were called something far worse. Posers. You know, because they're not real punk. So I could not believe it when this happened.
I dropped out of music school because I was like,
wait, hold on. Music school dropout.
I am.
That's kind of punk.
You're
And it looks like she couldn't either.
literally, there's so much serotonin to my brain right now. I actually can't process what's happening.
So that settles it. Tramp Stamps, real punk band confirmed. But anyways, Fantano asked her when she first noticed that the hate was getting real. It was after they uploaded a snippet of the song I'd Rather Die, but she says something about it that I find fascinating.
The song was fucking going off. I was losing my mind. Like, I remember sitting there and for like the first 24 hours, I think there was 4 million views on that. And there was like 900,000 likes or something. And there was like barely any negative comments. And I was like, holy shit.
The hate wasn't immediate. Without the context that we now have of them being the worst industry plants, most people didn't naturally hate the song. In fact, many of them actually liked it. But at some point after the first 24 hours, things started to change.
And I think because it had done so well in a certain algorithm and one person made one video saying something and then it was just game fucking over. And and we were like, oh my God.
So it wasn't until someone or perhaps a few influential people on TikTok started to make videos hating on the song that people started to really get on board. And that's when the hate train grew and grew and grew until it just went off the rails. And that is also when people decided that they were industry plants. So Fantano asks, you know, a lot of people are saying you're industry plants. What really is the case? So she explains how she met her bandmates.
I had written with Paige a few times and I really, really loved working with her. And I was just a massive fan of Caro. She was signed to AWOL at the time. I had just signed to AWOL and they had this event and I had met her and we really hit it off and we were like, okay, all three of us should get in a reg.
AWOL is a music distribution company that stands for Artists Without a Label. I don't know exactly what that is, but it sounds like it's not a label. Now, some people have pointed out that it's like connected to a label or something. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter because having connections to a label is not what makes you a plant.
It was not this like big label scheme where somebody like had like picked us up and like for a bunch of money.
And whether she intended to or not, Marissa Mano brought up a very interesting point about industry plants.
There is sometimes where I wish that was just true so then I could be like, this is somebody else's fault, you know what I mean? Like,
if an artist was planted by a label, then it's probably even more so the label's fault. Because after all, an artist might just need the money, but the label has no shortage of cash. So if people are so concerned about industry plants, then I don't understand why nobody tried to cancel the label.
I don't understand, bitch.
In fact, people barely tried to figure out who the label even is. Tramp Stamps are just one band. The label could have planted dozens of more since then and no one cares because they don't really care about industry plants. They are perfectly content with the most convenient person to hate. And I think what all of this points to is the moment in the interview when they talk about what people really misunderstood about Tramp Stamps.
It seems like what you're saying in so many words is like what people didn't understand about Tramp Stamps is that people didn't realize that you were people and
Exactly.
Just-
And yeah, I don't think most people considered that they're just normal people with human emotions.
I'm in therapy now, obviously.
as a result of this,
Yeah, for sure.
It never occurred to them that they're normal people with hopes and dreams, and they're just trying to do good in the world.
We had all these plans to like, oh, if this does happen to pop off, we can have a tampons charity because it was in COVID and it's really hard for women to get tampons in general. And
They didn't want to see tramp stamps as people because people are complicated and hate is simple. And listen, I'm not trying to like hate on haters right here. The truth is everyone, myself included, has hatred inside them, and the internet is just the easiest place to let it out. Once you see an internet hate train, it's so easy to hop on because hating on someone will get you praised in the form of likes on your comments or your videos. But hating on someone in person will get you punched in the face. So I don't think the internet is full of bad people. I think the internet has a way of bringing out the worst in good people. Regardless, I am glad that Marissa Manon was able to transform all of her pain from this into her beautiful new single, Drugs with God.
Fuck everything. I'm doing drugs with God.
Speaking of which, at the end of the interview, she has the nerve to ask Fantano to rate her song. The guy who is known for giving ratings like this.
Light 2. A strong 1 to a light 2. 0 on this record. A big, fat goose egg.
She asked him for a rating on the spot in front of a live audience, and you know what he said?
no, it was a very good song. 7 or an 8, you know, in that range.
I think this was the best moment of her life. What he said next was maybe a little disrespectful, but it was hilarious.
I cannot under fucking stand why tramp stamps got absolutely shit on. But the fucking ABCDEFU song is popular. That is literally 10 times worse than any tramp stamp song.
Funnily enough, the artist of that song, Gayle, was also called an industry plant. There are some parallels between the two situations here, but in the case of Gayle, we have actual proof that she and her major label lied to us. So if you want to know more about that, click this video right here.